the last few years is all levels of government have realised that there's a competitive advantage within Northern Australia, and there is some large infrastructure money that's now going into the development of Northern Australia. Yeah, my name's Bob Mackay. I'm one of the directors of the Wallaroo Group. Wallaroo Group commenced in 1976, established in Townsville to service primarily the copper refineries and the local abattoir. Since that time, it's now grown to be 250 people strong, 2 workshop operations here in Townsville and another one in Brisbane, and operate across a number of industries, being fuel, rail maintenance, mining, sugar, meat processing.
When you come out to regional Australia, what hits you is really the opportunity. But to really unlock that opportunity, the country needs infrastructure investment. That investment, if well managed and well targeted, unlocks enormous economic opportunity. And that's certainly what we're seeing here in Townsville. And there's a lot of excitement in town about what that opportunity will drive. More companies being established, more innovation, more R&D, more investment, more high quality jobs.
The flow-on effect down through the businesses cannot be understated. One of the stats I love about Northern Australia is that 3.3% of the population live in Northern Australia, and it creates 11% of Australia's GDP. The reason why people are excited about it is we haven't really fully tapped into that resource yet, and we see businesses like Wallaroo having a really prosperous future ahead of them.
We've been directly responsible for the development of over 200 apprentices over the years. We run 35 apprentices now. We see that as critically important to the development of Australian manufacturing going forward. We continue to expand our operations, and we now service the fuel industry up and down the east coast of Australia. Some 4 years ago, we got into the rail industry and rail maintenance. That has now been the strongest growing arm of our business. Rail represents roughly 35% of our total business by way of turnover. The steel part of the business probably represents another 30%. The nature of some of the rolling stock we service is not straightforward. There is a lot of innovation that goes into the maintenance of that rolling stock.
What's really interesting is to see how innovators and entrepreneurs have found niches here in Australia. Well, one of the things you probably think about when you think about Northern Queensland, you always think about agriculture and sort of mining. But actually what really is interesting is how that just drives this whole sort of manufacturing and industrial sector that really feed off those industries. And this is a great example here with the steelworks that actually maintains rolling stock and all sorts of steel projects that services all those great sort of mining and agricultural companies across the top end here.
What we've always said is if you're not continuing to grow, then your business will be dying. And we've got some fairly aggressive growth plans. We've acquired a large site on the western side of Townsville that provides us with rail access.
When I look at a company here that's doing some of the great manufacturing and industrial work here, who are their client bases? Yes, they're great Australian companies and innovators, but actually increasingly they're also international players. And that's really where ANZ can play a part. Whether they come from Asia or Europe or North America, those companies that are investing, acquiring goods and services from here, and that's a role that ANZ plays beautifully because we show that ability to connect investors and people who are consuming great goods and products with the manufacturing here in Australia, and it's great to be part of that as ANZ, intermediating trade and capital flow across this region.